off, YouTube. Can we get the autofocus coming in, please? Oh. Hey, yo, I don't want bloody filters, I just want the focus to work. There we go. Christ. G'day. Right next to me I have a big moving box full of railway stuff that I am going to be going through because I promised that I would go through and do another unboxing of all of my stuff. But, you know, apparently life goes on and I totally forgot about it. So I do have one thing that isn't in a box and I will cover it now, actually, just while I am here. Something I got off of eBay in a furious bidding war. We have a Queensland Railways Electrification Safety Instruction Booklet. This goes through a lot of stuff, such as like what auto transforming is and priorities, CPR, all that sort of stuff. It's got some photos as well. Like this is a substation and feeder. And that's an example of a auto transformer. It's actually a really decent book. So I'll just keep that to the side. So now, time to get some scissors, and we're going to go through this box. I'm nervous. Oh, that's not a straight line, is it? Okay, apparently scissors are good for cutting, but I would not know that. Bloody hell. Alright. Woo! There's one. Oh, here we go. Wow. Alright. Right off the bat, we have a Queensland Rail light identification number. You'll often go to train stations and you'll find these mounted on the big station lights. This is 9241, so I got this from Tennyson Station. It's still got the silicon on the back. I did not get this off the pole, it was on the ground, and I just cleaned it up. It's got a nice little barcode on the bottom there too, so that's a pretty spicy one that I'm pretty sure QR will not appreciate me having. Oh, I forgot how much shit was in here. Okay. This one's fairly cool. This is framed. So this is a photo that I took at Fisherman's Island. As you can see, you've got an Horizon driver here taking a photo of the steam train. This was one of my early shots, so obviously the composition isn't too great, but this was one of the very last times that 1079 would run before the major heritage hiatus. It's going to be very awkward because I got to move the chair so I can grab it. The floor's carpets is going to be a bit interesting. This has got 3 photos on it, so I'll go through them one by one. This is 1724, towing the first 2 Watco WRAs. I don't know where this was taken. I do believe it was only just a phone screenshot. Next one, oh Jesus, okay. So I'm gonna have to go that way. This is EMU 04 with a Caravan Show Desto. I haven't exactly seen the Caravan Show destination for a while now. Usually the Caravan Show is usually using like exhibition loop or city exhibitions, something like that. I would love to see that before all the EMUs disappear. And final one, we have 1754 on the Westlander at Murphy's Creek. This is one of the only times that I've seen 1720s hauling the Westlander. Usually at that time it was 2400s or 2470s. So this was a really great find. And back to the desk. Aha! I have a lot of photo frames. This is EMU 9 and 1754 at the Ipswich workshops. This was a very spontaneous photo. I was there to see if there was a scrapping going on. Turns out there was a transfer, which is fine. 54 went in there to couple up and move emus around the yard. But 54 is currently at Redbank workshops with a bloody windscreen missing, and EMU 9 doesn't exist anymore. So I'm going to hold on to that one for a while. Next up, we have some Queensland Rail safety campaign signage. I will glance up and down this one because it's at a very odd angle. This is, please walk, don't run for your safety. I got a whole bunch of these for Christmas, and I won't go through them all because they're all very similar. But I did have these hung up on my wall, but since I moved house, I can't exactly have that anymore. So we're going to move on to some little stuff now. Just going to get the rest of those posters out of the way. This one's pretty cool. This is a May 2001 timetable for the Ipswich line. I found this when going for a little hike through Museum Junction for Rosewood Railway. Back then they weren't doing anything with the yards, with the heritage at the time, so I was like, go have a look. Back when the timetables used to show run numbers as well. As you can see, at the time it was all ones because it was majority EMU, SMU at the time. At the back here there is an old map. I will plan on getting that scanned eventually. And there's also an introduction to the City Train fleet on the back. So you've got the EMU, ICE, SMUs and IMUs. Little fact sheets as well, like luggage racks, automatic announcement systems and all this sort of stuff. And it's just a good old time. This is a Beyer Garrett locomotive operating manual. I'm not entirely sure whether this one is genuine or whether it's a reprint. Either way, no huge loss. If we have a look on the inside, somewhere in here, but the hiccups for some reason, I don't know why, I haven't eaten anything today. Maybe it's at the back. It's got some side profiles, which for some reason I forgot where it is, because professionalism is a hobby. But somewhere in there is a photo. We'll just use that as a example. That's the cab controls. So obviously very complicated, and it's got a list down the side of everything that's in it. Don't know too much about Beyer Garrett, but I saw this on eBay and I couldn't resist. So this will be put right down near my feet because I can't quite get into my drawers. I shift this along. Stick you in there. we have quite a few operating manuals here. Again, most of these came from eBay. We have the 1700s, we have the 1502s, 1720s, what's this one, 2470 and 2170, 1460, and the 1550, 2130 and 2141 class operating manuals. Now, all of these manuals will have at the back or somewhere within, they will have these fold-out sections. If I just place that over there, they will have, come back, they will have fold-out sections, like sectional elevation and everything. So these would be before the 1720s got aircon, but you know, they're still pretty cool to own. As I said, every single one of these manuals will have diagrams in them. So I'm always looking for more, and if I do find more, I will do videos on them. Oh no, they're stuck. This is a little something I got from Fairfield before the station closed. I was looking at these for a while. It's been a long ride, but it's not over yet. This was some COVID advertisements coming out of COVID in particular. The main reason I'm collecting it is because of the new TransLink logo here, which I am still studying and making sure I've got the logo font correct. But I do like the color scheme and the 260s on here. I do know that the bus network has a green Clark's one, but I'm still always on the hunt for printouts as such. That was not a very nice thing to look at, just an empty thick shape. Oh, so sorry. This here is pretty substandard. It's a rely on rail, passenger or freight calendar. So obviously you open it up, you can jot down notes and stuff. Ignore that, I was young. We've got a map here, so it only goes up as far as Peachtree, only down as far as Bingley. And it's got Tennyson, Vulture Street. If you look over here, you can also see Doughboy, Windstains, only goes as far as Loader. And I'm guessing these red areas here are electrified. So have a look at the back. It's freight with railways, so that's pretty cool. And it's got Railway the Best Way, so a calendar for 1978, which is pretty bloody cool. So if you are in Facebook groups and all that, you will have seen the working timetable at one point. What basically happened was I got this off of my dad, and he's like, yo, I found something pretty cool. And I was like, oh, what is it? And then he hands me this, and it's got everything in it. So if I somehow manage to duck my arms around this tripod without bumping it, I can show you what's inside. Naturally, first thing we see, if we can just get this bumped up just a tad, there we go. First thing we see is the Pinkenbar line, which obviously huge red flag because you don't see those anymore. And attached to the back is the North Coast line. So you've got Gladstone, Avondale, all the way down to Torbanley, Maryborough, and it's got diagrams of Baddow and all these other areas inside. So I'm going to zoom that back out again, tilt that down again, and chuck that in the drawer. This one is not strictly Queensland Rail per se, but there is a reason why I do keep it. This is a first aid to the injured ambulance book. Now the reason why I do class it as Queensland Rail is because you open the top, and it says right here, I'll zoom in on that, on loan, return to ambulance officer QR, Central Station, Brisbane. If we scroll over here a little bit and open this up, this is a very detailed, of course it goes up, I forgot about that. This is a very detailed diagram of all your arteries and bones. It does as well go into depth of common railway stuff, like injuries such as hemorrhaging from the mouth, or like blood in the mouth. You know, what's another thing we've got? Carrying people. It's some really heavy stuff. Obviously this will be somewhat outdated as medicine has advanced, but it's still pretty cool regardless. It's not the best condition, but this is a train handling manual. Now, when I first got it, I had no bloody idea what train handling was. Not going to lie, I thought it was the trains picking up and moving trains. It was like handling, but it actually refers to safe movement of trains and how to avoid common issues like wear and tear. Of course, it goes in here like slack, and it also goes into definition of hills and gullies and all these other items. And right here it mentions the 2800 class, so there's a date to this. On 2800 class locos with slower power increase, it will be necessary to apply power earlier than normal to achieve constant speed. So it is pretty cool. There are more manuals like this. Some go into staff and ticket and all these other types of safe working. This envelope here isn't Queensland Rail, as it is the United Nations Postal Admission, but what is inside this envelope is what really counts. So if we dig through and pull these out, right here, we have a stamp for the official opening of electric railways, the 17th of November 1979. Obviously, you know, it doesn't take a genius to point it out that there is an EMU right there. I haven't seen a stamp like that yet. I do hope that one shows up on eBay, because I would abuse the absolute crap out of an EMU stamp. Everything else inside the envelope is pretty much obsolete. That seems to be about it. Everything else is just collectibles and other stuff, like almost every issue of Railway Digest that I have gotten a photo in. Although this one is pretty cool. It's my photo on the front cover, not bragging or anything. I do think it's pretty cool. But other than that, there's really nothing else left. So I have unpacked this box, and I don't know when the next video is. I've got work and everything, but I will be doing an eventual drone video showing off all the stuff that I have caught from the air. So stay tuned to that, and I will join you next time when a video surfaces. Thank you very much for watching.